All right, my girls, if you feel like you are constantly in this battle in your mind, getting in your own way, stopping you from receiving the life that you want, if you feel like it is so hard for you to activate your feminine energy and you're
constantly self-sabotaging by being in your masculine and always thinking
that you have to slave in order to get to your dream life, this video is going to help you overcome that. Before we get into the video, of course, if you are here, I am so grateful for you. And I would absolutely love if you subscribe to the channel and become part of the Queen community.
Yeah.
I love how much our Queen community has grown and just creating this safe space for women and all of us just stepping into our feminine energy, becoming fit, becoming healthy, and becoming a true high value woman is something that we do here. So if that is something that interests you, make sure you subscribe and check out the description for all my free resources and if you are interested in coaching. So let's move on to number one. Number one, we want to practice self-compassion. You need to have compassion with yourself. You need to be patient with yourself. As hard as it is sometimes, as a feminine woman, you have to realize that everyone is going to make mistakes. And at any point in time, you are allowed to change your mind. You need to sit with yourself, have compassion for where you are at, understand and have compassion for where you're at, and develop this forgiveness towards yourself. And you need to cultivate that daily because daily we make mistakes, daily we mess up. But we have to realize that we still have value. You still have value as a woman, no matter what mistakes you make. And at any point in time, you are able and allowed to change your mind at any point in time for anything. Something that really helped me a lot was journaling. Journaling is something so powerful. You use the journal as a second brain, as a second thought space in order to cultivate your dream life. Writing things out is something that will help you not only develop self-worth and organization in your life, but having a journal is something that creates self-awareness, and being a self-aware woman adds to your value. So this is my journal here. I absolutely love it. It's for this year, 2024, and I wrote that one of my biggest goals this year is to be intentional, and journaling intentionally in order to heal any wounds that I have, to be more feminine, is a big goal of mine. So we want to make sure that while you're journaling, you are trying to be in tune with yourself. We need to start listening to our intuition, and journaling things out is going to be something that helps with that. So when it also comes to being in tune with your intuition as a woman, you have to realize that thinking on decisions, there may be a decision that you want to make right now. If you think on it too hard and you try to use your logic, you're thinking from a masculine place. And now that doesn't mean
just make any decision and don't think about anything ever, because that's not what I'm saying.
But things that are going to help you stay in tune with your intuition is making quick decisions and being confident about your decision. One of my favorite ways to do this is set a timer, 10-15 seconds if I'm thinking about something, and decide. Because you have an intuition feeling about something. Let's say that you're deciding whether you want to go out with a guy that has asked you on a date. It should take you 15 seconds to decide whether you want to do this or not. And the reason why is because you need to start listening to your gut feeling. If you do decide to go on this date with this guy and he's not who you expected, you have something that you learned. But you need to start practicing with this intuition because it is a tool. As women, we have a very strong intuition, but we're constantly ignoring it, which will lead us to situations that we don't like. And going around asking for everyone and their mother's opinion about a decision is going to take you away from your own intuition and make you feel like you need to rely on other people's validation in order to accomplish something or to do something. And you don't need somebody else's permission to take action in your own life.
You can go now.
So we need to let go of this logic thinking and switch into a place of feminine desire. For me, I am a Christian woman. I believe strongly in Jesus, and I've seen him work in my life so many times, more than I can explain to you. And if I were to think with logic how some of these things have happened in my life, I wouldn't be here, and I would probably be slaving at a job I hate, and I would not have the life that I have now. I would not have the healing that I have now. And thinking about it logically, trying to figure out and piece things together on my own just would not work. It would not work. I am here and being led by Jesus. And I know that within my heart. And when you step into this logic and try to base things on your own understanding and try to put limiting beliefs based on
things that are real and realistic,
you're limiting yourself, because there is no such thing as
realistic.
One of my favorite YouTubers has this saying that it's only delusional until it's done. And that's so true. Because if you look at how many people have accomplished so many things in their lives, it was only delusional to the people that had limiting beliefs and couldn't see it for themselves. But when you believe it with all of your being and you know that you're being led by God, nothing is impossible. There is nothing that can keep you from what God has for you. Absolutely nothing. And the logic has no part in that. Stepping into your intuition and feeling what's right and wrong, sit with yourself, close your eyes. Right now, if you have something that you're trying to decide, I want you to close your eyes and feel within your body how this thing makes you feel. Let's say that it's a new job opportunity, a new friendship, a new relationship opportunity. I want you to sit with yourself and observe and examine how it feels within your body to think about this. Think about how it would be if it worked. Think about how it would be to be in that situation. And the reason why this is so important, because you have a gut instinct telling you whether this is something that is in alignment with your soul or not. So for example, if you're starting to feel excited about something and you feel overly joyful just thinking about something, that's something that is spiritually aligned with you. That's something that is your intuition is excited for, looking forward to. Something that gives you constant anxiety, something that feels wrong within your spirit is telling you that, no, this is not for me. This is not something that's aligned with me. And this is something that I used to ignore whenever I was in
toxic relationships with feminine men
that had no idea how to take care of a woman. I literally would cry at night by myself, pretend I was okay, and I would cry for no reason. I had no reason to. I didn't know what he was doing behind my back, but I knew. Your body will tell you. Now, knowing the difference between an anxiety response and having an intuition response. An intuition response is that small voice that you feel maybe once or twice trying to tell you something, but something that is engulfing you about what if. If you're asking yourself a bunch of these questions, what if, that's anxiety. And that also shows that there is a wounded feminine energy that needs to be healed, and you need to evaluate what it is that's causing that. Another way that we're going to get out of our own way and start enjoying life and creating a life that we love and desire and stop self-sabotaging is enjoying more pleasure in our lives. And what this looks like is doing things that make you feel more like a woman, doing things that bring joy into your life and bring you true happiness. So for me, that's going to church, involving myself in church groups and events. That brings me so much joy and fulfillment. Being able to help other people and volunteering is something that brings me so much joy and fulfillment. Doing Pilates and taking group classes is something that brings me so much joy and fulfillment and makes my life more enjoyable.
If all you are doing is working and sleeping and eating, your life is not in alignment right now.
And we need to get into alignment, babe. We need to get into it. Because if you are unaligned right now and you are not in a feminine state and you are in a damaged and a wounded feminine state, all areas of your life are going to be impacted. Other things that bring me so much joy and fulfillment in my life are things like taking art classes, painting, doing piano. I grew up playing piano and I absolutely love it, and it makes me feel extremely feminine and extremely confident in my own abilities. So exploring different areas in your life where you find fulfillment and joy is so important. So right now, if you have a journal, I want you to take out this journal and I want you to write out a prompt. And if you aren't able to do this right now, You can take a sticky note, you can just take a mental note in your head, but I want you to think about this specific question. What would I create right now? Or what would I do, try, create, change right now if there were absolutely no barriers? Finances were not a barrier. Time is not a barrier. Nothing is a barrier. What would you do? And I want you to write out those things. And now with these things, these are things that you want to do, but your limiting beliefs are getting in the way of you doing that. So many people say that, oh, I don't have time, but people make time for things that are a priority to them.
Right now, if you don't have time, what you really mean is the things that you want to do are just not a priority, so you don't want them bad enough.
Because even if you are at a job that you hate, it's not a priority enough for you to look for one that you love. It's not a priority for you enough to spend 30 minutes a day trying to figure out and learn how to create a job for yourself that you love. Right now, people are working 2 to 4 hours a day, making 6 figures, and complaining about where you're at in life and complaining about where you are is not going to get you to where you want to be. You're only creating more limiting beliefs for yourself and creating a life that you don't like and is not aligned with you. So instead of being in this victim mindset, we need to change that and shift that so that way you are embodying a woman that you love. You are embodying that queen energy. So the next prompt that I want you to think about or write down is, what would my future self say? Highest version. What would the highest version of myself, my highest future self, say to let go of right now? Think about what it is right now that is holding you back. This could be, for me, it was worrying all the time. Having worry will keep you from your goals. Having a negative mindset will keep you from your goals. Perfectionism is another one that I struggled with, and if you're constantly striving for perfection, you will never be able to accomplish anything because nothing is ever perfect. And perfection is the most intricate deception that there is. Nothing will ever be perfect. And even striving for perfection will keep you in a place of being stagnant, not being able to go anywhere, to get anywhere, because you are so consumed by this idea that it has to be perfect before I let it out into the world and release it. When you need to just release where you are right now and grow as time goes on. Another thing that I had to let go of was that fear of not being good enough. There is no magical bar of this is where you need to be and this is when you'll be good enough. These standards that we set in our minds are keeping us from being where we want to go and getting to where we want to go. The good enough bar is set in our own heads. Release it. Release it. It does not serve you. It's not for you. Release it. It does nothing for you. Once you understand that you are good enough to do anything that you believe you are, anything you believe that you will be able to accomplish any goal that you set for yourself. But you need to make sure that this is soul aligned and spiritually aligned with yourself, because if not, then you will constantly be struggling to reach something that was not meant for you. And now the next prompt I want you to think about is, what are you doing right now that is keeping you from your desires? So what is taking up all of your time? What things are you doing to procrastinate on your goals? This could be you scrolling on your phone for hours at a time. This could be you binge watching Netflix. This could be you waking up late in the day and sleeping in every single day to avoid that self-work, to avoid that inner work, to avoid becoming a better version of yourself. Evaluate what these things are so that way you can overcome them and manage them. Making sure that you are aligned and getting out of your own way. This starts with you doing things that you love. Making sure that your life is full of fulfillment. And in the morning, make sure that you are excited to wake up. And you do this by making sure that the first thing you do in the morning is something that you enjoy and love doing. So this could be Pilates. This could be working on that project that you want to do in your life to enhance where you're at. This could be you working on that new business that you want to start. This could be you joining that course that you've always wanted to join. This could be you going to Pilates or doing even something simple as self-care. Making sure that you're healing this self-sabotage narrative and you're healing this version of yourself is so important, because if you're unable to heal, if you're unable to do this inner work, you will stay stuck in a victim mentality. You have to do the inner work. You have to do it, which is why I believe so strongly in journaling and reflecting on these things, if you can, every day. So that way you are able to understand what it is that is causing these unalignments in your life. A lot of self-sabotage comes from trauma wounds and unprocessed anger, unprocessed trauma, and things that have happened to us that really left an impact in a negative way. So figuring out what these things were and are in your life that are holding you in this box and holding you captive is going to be so freeing, because you're able to then work on it and release it. You need to learn to release these things. You need to heal your inner child and heal these wounds, so that way you're able to show up as a feminine woman and activate that feminine energy. And when you feel these negative emotions, instead of ruminating on them or trying to push them away, learn to accept them, because these emotions are here and present for a reason. And instead of trying to run away from them or letting them engulf you, ask yourself questions. Be curious about why you are feeling the way that you are feeling. If somebody did something that really upset you or made you upset and angry, ask yourself, why is this upsetting me so much? What wound is keeping me and preventing me from being able to express myself in a healthy way? What wound is present that is keeping me from being able to respond to this in an effective and calm manner? How would my highest version of myself respond to this situation? What can I learn from this experience? What can I learn from these emotions? These questions are so important, because if you don't ask yourself these questions, you're constantly going to be overrun by them or constantly running away from them. That's not helpful to you. That is not helpful to your life. That's not helpful to any of your relationships, because that impacts your communication. And if you're unable to communicate effectively, you cannot have successful relationships. So understanding all of these things, having self-forgiveness, making sure that you're journaling and using self-healing prompts and working and doing that inner work to see what you need to fix, and stop making your external world, what's happening, to define your happiness and your joy in life, is important. Remember to have compassion on yourself, because having compassion with yourself will help you to overcome a lot of these wounds. Remember that you are worthy. I hope that you guys really enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. And if you have any other video ideas or you need any other help, tips on anything specific, please leave it in the comments. I'm so excited that our queen community has grown so much. And please check the description to make sure that you're getting all the free resources that are available to you. And feel free to connect with me on Instagram, where I would love to be able to help you. I also have my one-on-one coaching for mindset, fitness, and health down in the description if that's something that you're interested in as well. But remember that you are capable, and activating your feminine energy and stepping into that is going to change your life. And I'm so excited to see that happen for you. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, my loves.